COTI at the price of $5 during this bull run, that's still my price target, even though that's not financial advice. But contrary to popular belief, I think COTI has actually done very well, especially ever since I started talking about it. Now, some people may think, oh, that's not true. But take a look at the charts. Again, ever since I started talking about COTI, it has done pretty well despite the price pullback. I do believe better days are ahead because, again, $5 is still my price target for this bull run. And these price pullbacks, who cares? Because personally, for me, I haven't sold any COTI, and I'm still going to be acquiring COTI because I do believe in its future. Now, some people may argue that, okay, COTI is this caca project. Are you talking about the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody or whatever that show is? No, I'm talking about arguably one of the best Ethereum layer 2s out there, in my opinion, or at least it has the potential to, because when you take a look at it, COTI is revolutionary. It's an Ethereum layer 2 that is privacy centric. Now, some people may think that, okay, these quote unquote layer 2s, there's too many. There's going to be no room for COTI to thrive. But I disagree with that because while many layer 2s out there, they're focused on gaming, like for instance, Myria and Immutable. You also take a look at some other more established layer 2s out there, like for instance, Optimism, Arbitrum. Now, again, there's a bunch more, but I'm just saying like, the famous ones. But even despite that, why do I think COTI has a place? Because these other competitors, for the most part, they're not necessarily focused on privacy. When you take a look at COTI, they understand that, hey, there's a niche here. They understand that Ethereum is going to continue to grow from here on out. Also, they understand that, hey, the Ethereum ETF is going to do absolute wonders for Ethereum in the future, and as well as creating a lot of positive sentiment. So again, they understand where the future is heading in a sense. Now, granted, no one has a magic crystal ball to tell the future, but again, I feel like they understand the trajectory in which Ethereum is heading, and they shifted their focus. Now, why do I say they shifted their focus? Because when you take a look at COTI initially, especially when I first started talking about it, it was focused on the payments market. Again, at that time, things were a little bit boring, I would assume, but it wasn't even that bad anyways, because the payments market is currently valued at over $2 trillion, so it's not a caca market by any means. But you know what? There's always room for improvement. And COTI, this is the forward-thinking mindset that they have. They need such a radical change, again, becoming a privacy-centric Ethereum layer 2. That's almost unheard of. Just think about this, right? Before, they were a pretty established project with pretty good adoption. If you take a look at the state in which they were in, they had plenty of major factors to do well during a fully fledged bull run. Like, in my opinion, still, even back then, $5 wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. But the amazing thing about COTI is that, again, they need such a radical change. Many projects out there in their position, they wouldn't dare to make a change like that. It's very difficult. We see, let's say, a run-of-the-mill project out there randomly saying that, oh yeah, we're going to become a privacy-centric Ethereum layer 2. That's very difficult. That requires a lot of, guts, I would say, right? That really requires a lot of risk-taking. And when it comes to COTI, man, so far it's worked out pretty well for them. But I think, again, this could be just a small taste of what's to come. This is what I like about COTI. They're willing to push the envelope. They're willing to quite essentially shift their focus, and they're able to make decisions that they feel are right, because other projects out there, they're afraid to do this, but not COTI. Now, not to mention, when you take a look at Ethereum layer 2s, what's the benefit of this? Because some people may think, okay, you keep saying this, but why does this benefit something like Ethereum? Now, let's face it, Ethereum, it has a couple problems. Like, despite being massive, despite having a good ecosystem, despite having a lot of fans, a lot of exposure, also you take a look at the Ethereum ETF, despite all that, what are two major factors, in my opinion, which sometimes just makes me say, caralho porra, right? What sometimes makes me say that? That is the fact that it has sky-high gas fees, and it's arguably not even scalable. Now, this is kind of a caca problem, in my opinion, at least, because if you think about it, many of Ethereum's competitors, they have this covered. But again, because Ethereum is a little bit of a dinosaur, launched a long time ago, because of that, of course, things weren't perfect. Like, even after Ethereum became Ethereum 2.0, like, still, this is still a major problem. So that's why a layer 2, much like COTI, could step in and save the day. Now, again, a layer 2 allows Ethereum to be enjoyed, while at the same time not having to deal with a lot of these problems. Which is why, again, I think it's super necessary, hashtag Jorge Masvidal, for an Ethereum layer 2. But then again, COTI has that special added sauce to the point that it's not only just an Ethereum layer 2, but then it's privacy-centric. That right there is a total game changer because, of course, nowadays, people, they care about privacy. They like when things are more confidential in a sense. And again, COTI, they understand this. Now, let's not forget, COTI going to the price of $5, considering current circulating supply, market cap would be around $9 billion, which is kind of peanuts, to be honest. You take a look at Shiba Inu reaching around 40 billion. You take a look at Dogecoin reaching over 80 billion. I'm not talking about some crazy figures here. I'm not even saying it's going to go to like 50% of Dogecoin's all-time high market cap, let alone 50% of even Shiba Inu's all-time high market cap. This is kind of minuscule. Now, you may be thinking, okay, COTI's not a meme coin, you can't compare to that, but I think it's fair enough because it showcases that in the world of cryptocurrencies, it seems like the standard isn't that high, for projects to do absolutely amazing. Again, I'm not saying that COTI's going to defeat them because, of course, that requires a certain, sentiment, and also, the environment was way different back in 2021, but still around, 6 months to a year, I think COTI could shock the world in such a fantastic way. And during this bull run, $5 wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. Now, granted, $5 isn't going to be the best upside out there because that is around a 40x from here. So some people may think, okay, there's this microcap, man. This microcap hypothetically is called, I'm just making a make-believe scenario, right? Some people may think, oh yeah, there's this microcap called Bratwurst Extender Inu, 69,000, Lead the Captain Edition, whatever the case may be. This can do, like, let's say hypothetically a 1000x or something like that. Well, here's the thing. Maybe a microcap could do that, but that's a little bit too much risk for my appetite. But at the same time, I don't want to get into a dinosaur. I don't want to get into like a Solana. That's not really going to do that well from here on out. I'm not saying like compared to years ago or whatever. I'm saying like from the point where it is and as of right now, even let's say like a BNB or something like that. I don't want that. So what is a way for me to choose something that is in between, not a microcap, but not some dinosaur? That's like COTI. Again, around a 40x, considering how much it has pumped, doing an additional 40x from as of right now, hypothetically, doesn't seem so bad in my opinion. Not to mention, you take a look at Charles Hoskinson, who not only is the founder of Cardano, but he's also the co-founder of Ethereum. According to Charles, in the next 1 to 2 years, based on a video that he was a part of back in November, he said that he could very well see Bitcoin reaching anywhere between $250,000 all the way up to $500,000. Again, in a time frame of 1 to 2 years from back in November when he was a part of that video when he said that. But why do I have to mention this? Because as the old saying goes, a high tide raises all ships. If let's say Bitcoin does very well, altcoins usually, at least, the good ones with a good community, with good fundamentals, much like COTI, they typically go along with the ride. So I think it could be so special when it comes to COTI during this bull run, but it's just a waiting game. I think 2024 was a good taste, but I think 2025 is going to be the main course. If you know, you know. I do believe that it's going to be the real deal, but again, it's just a waiting game because, you know what? That's the only thing I can control. Just dollar cost averaging, acquiring, holding, and again, just waiting. Would I love for COTI to be at the price of like $5 as of right now? Absolutely, but usually that's not how it works. But even still, despite that, I do believe that COTI, beyond the price of $1, the growth could hypothetically be exponential. Why do I say that, right? Because you take a look at Cardano's native token called ADA. Now, you take a look at how, of course, it's a little bit different, but this is a fair example nonetheless, because going from the price of around 3 cents to $1, when it comes to Cardano's native token, again called ADA, it was very difficult back then. But then going from the price of $1 to $2 and even $3, that felt very easy. Now, why is that? It's because sometimes people, they need this confirmation. They want a certain barrier to be, broken, so to speak, before they believe, before they really commit. Now, I'm not going to wait for that, though, because I believe beforehand. But even despite that, this could very well be the case as well for COTI, because imagine COTI goes to the price of $1. At that point, people are like, whoa, I can't believe COTI's at the price of $1. Then let's say $2 is 2x away. Now, at that point, $4 is just a 2x away from that. And then after that, $5, that's just within grabbing distance. So when I take a look at COTI again, beyond the price of $1, I think it could very well have this snowball effect. But again, it's just a time will tell type of scenario. But you know what? I'm willing to stay patient because COTI at the price of $5 during this bull run wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's been Lead the Captain, and I'll catch you all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.